All right, guys, welcome back. So we have a little situation at the shop. Um, so 6 months ago, it's just strange to me. The whole scenario. Sometimes just the people that we deal with are just, I have no idea. They're just not normal, and some are normal. Maybe that is their normal. So the story goes, she's got a Lincoln MKZ. It's at the Ford dealer. The dealer says it needs an engine. Blah 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 blah, and it's been sitting there for months. So then the car gets towed to my shop. I'm just trying to put it because it's been 6 months, right?
The invoice said March, I think.
March, so about 6 months.
February or March.
So some of her body language from the rip was like, "Well, if the car sits here, you're going to start charge storage fees." So and it was like a weird question to answer, and we didn't even get to her car yet. And I'm like, "Well, if it's something that takes a couple weeks to fix your car, which normally nothing does here, or you need a week or two to get your money together, right? Working with people, challenged people,
Challenged people?
no problem, right? It was no problem. Like, you're going to be a week or two to fix your car. We're not going to charge you storage fees once we pick it up. And some shops, have the right to do that. So I diagnosed the car, coils, plugs, GDI service, fuel injection, general maintenance, a battery, a couple other things, safety inspection, uh, with a bunch of declines, catalytic converters declined. So a bunch of things that were declined. So Rachel's like, well, we can get the car running for $1,700. Parts, labor, diagnostic, everything that we needed to do to fix it was already bad. So that was like the next day job. Okay, she approves it, but everything's done via text, not through phone calls, because who knows what the hell's going on. So we call her, or Rachel texts her and says, "Hey, your car's done. Beep boop 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 boop. She'll be there Friday or something. If she doesn't show up Friday, or the next week she shows up to pick up her car, and she says, "Hey, I just want to test drive my car before I take it." And I'm like, "Well, that's not how this works." She's like, "Well, how do I know it fixed? Because we fixed it. I drove it. We called you, told you it was done. The car's drivable and ready to go. So absolutely not. Are you not driving your car?" And she's like, "Well, can I just drive it for a couple weeks and then bring it back?" And we're like, "What fucking planet are you from?"
She wanted to test drive it.
Right. What she was going to do is never come back.
She said that to the dealership too, because remember, she said the same thing.
Right. So we're like, absolutely not. Your car stays here. Your job has to be paid in full. Um, so, and then I think like 3 months went by, and then she gets in contact with Rachel and says, "Hey, I want to make a payment for $50 on the $1,700. And Rachel's like, "You were told that this invoice has to be paid in full. We accept no minimum payments. We're not getting into this." So then I called the cops and told them what we were going on, and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, "Well, she can come technically get her car." And I'm like, "Well, no, she technically cannot. That's never going to happen. Baby, blah, blah. She has a tracking device in it. The car has to stay here." And I said, "Well, she's going to have to sue me to get her car back anyway. I want my money." So, but here's the police already on the offender of the system side, right? The police are already, let's help these people rob more businesses, right? Let's help them. So I told the cops, I said, "Absolutely not will she get her car back. You're not going to make me give her car back, and she can't have her car back, and it will sit here until she pays this in full." So they don't want to argue with me. So they're just like, "All right, well, whatever happens, happens." I said, "She will not come back here and get her car for a big fat goose egg. That's not happening." So I told April if she wanted her car back, she can certainly have it back, but she's going to take it out of here on a tow truck because I'm going to undo everything that I did, and she's not going to have the parts on her car to fix it. So she can have her car back, not running again. I have no problem with that. So I asked April last week to call this girl and say, "Listen, it's been here for 6 months. I need this invoice paid, and if you can't resolve this by Friday, a couple days, we want to accrue storage fees from the day that the invoice was open, plus the amount that you owe me. And if you don't do that, then we're going to mechanics lien the car, and then we're just going to go that way. And then mystically, this chick just because April didn't even talk to her. Like, she tried calling her, and it's some
text now number. So
text now number, and then she calls today and says, "I want to come get my car." And we're like, "Yeah, it's 4:30." She's like, "Well, I'll be there a little after 5. Will you wait?" And then Rachel was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What do you mean we're going to wait?" I said, "Are you out of your mind, Rachel?" And she says, "Well, she said she's only going to be like 15 minutes. I'm like, 15 minutes is going to turn into never showing up, because I've been down this road. I'm going to be there in 15 minutes. I'll be there in 20 minutes. And then they just never show. This is how these people are. Or they don't even call. So Rachel finally got her on a phone, and a phone number she called from Atlantic City. And she said, "Are you coming?" And this is already 5:30. And she's like, "Well, no, you said you closed at 5. She goes, "I told you we would stay here and wait for you, lady. You already said that you were coming and we would wait for you." That's exactly the story. "What time do you close? 5. Were you willing to wait 15 minutes for me to come get my car?" Rachel said yes. Here you go, 5:30. Guess who doesn't show up for a car? Mind you, I have to pay Rachel for the extra half hour now that she's been waiting for this lady who Rachel calls back and says, "Are you coming?" "No, I'm not coming." So then I made Rachel call her back and I said, "The owner just wanted to make sure that you know that you cannot leave with this car unless it's paid in full with cash. I accept no other payments from this person. And I'm not charging her storage fees, which I rightfully so, because I've already paid for the parts. I've already paid the mechanics, and I've never got any of that money to pay those guys. Follow me? Plus the interest, right? I should be entitled to interest.
All this time you've been storing her car, and you're just going to settle for what she owes.
I just want this to be out of my hair. And mind this, I told Rachel there's 0 warranty on anything we did now. That job was fixed on that date, and regardless of what the invoice is, I'm not giving her any warranty on any of the work, because our warranties are 90 days on electronics. So she's far expired that, and that's her problem. And I don't even know if the car is going to start now. It's been sitting there forever. Fuel pump could have died. Rodents could have chewed through the wire harnesses.
Do you even know where the key is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she may be coming and thinking her car's running, but since she let it sit for so long, we don't know the unknowns.
She's going to say that it was your responsibility to start it.
Not unless she paid storage fees. So if she's willing to pay the storage fees, then I'll accept that. But since she's not paying storage fees, she basically abandoned her car at my shop.
Right, I get it.
So we're working with this person, but we shouldn't be working with this person. And I just want it to be gone and out of my hair. But we'll let you know how this goes tomorrow, because I guarantee that there's going to be a fun, exciting day if this person ever shows up.
She's a little girl that I can guarantee does not have over $1,000.
She was told to bring cash, and she said, "I understand." So we're going to see what this is going to be like tomorrow. Thanks for watching.